We're going to start just as we usually do. So let's find all of that length through our spine here. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. Let's put that belly button back to spine. We're going to chin tuck back for 10. Let's get ready and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's just reset. Make sure we still have that length. We're going to do our head turns from side to side now. Ready? And begin. 1, back to center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, next part of our workout. We're going to do 3 rounds of our warm-up, 30 seconds each move, 10 seconds to transition to the next. And we're going to start with our 4-count cherry picker, and we're going to put an arm reach into that. So from our seated position, we'll be right outside the width of our shoulders here, okay? So we can reach outwards, reach middle, reach inwards, and then reach up, okay? So standing, we're going to reach outwards, middle, inwards, and up, okay? All right, that's our first move. Then we're going to go into our 3-count hold march. So we're going to hold on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, hold, okay? It's going to look the same seated. You're just going to be seated as we hold and march. After that, lateral shift. So if we are seated, I'm going to do a little bit of a new one today, okay? So we're going to step, reach together. Step, you're going to reach with the opposite hand towards the opposite foot. So this is our seated position for our lateral shift. Step, reach. Step, reach. Okay, that's our seated one. If we're standing, we're going to come nice and wide. We're going to sink our hip back and reach. You don't have to touch down. Reach. Okay, so similar, but a little different. And then our last warm-up move is the same seated or standing or goal post fly with internal and external rotation. All right, so we're going to start 4-count cherry picker with that arm reach, 30 seconds each move, 10 seconds transition. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, that's so loud. So 4-count here. 1, 2, 3, reach. Going at your pace, okay? Pace that feels comfortable for you. Remember, we're just waking up the body here, thinking about all that movement through our joints here. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to move on to our 3-count march hold here. Okay, so 5 seconds. We're going to start here, seated or standing. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, hold. And let's really try to work on opposite hand foot pattern. 1, 2, 3, hold. 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 One more. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Good. Next one we're moving on to is our lateral shift. So remember, if we're seated, we're going to step out and reach towards our opposite foot. Bring it together, other side. Let's begin. Reach. Reach. Okay. Standing. Reach. Okay, I'm going to push my hip back. See this? Hip back, right? Versus knee forward. Reach. Reach. Feel that lengthening through the straightened leg. Think about your hip joint mobilizing here, driving through that heel to activate our glute too. And time on that one. Okay. Next one is that goal post fly with our internal rotation, seated or standing. If you're standing, let's make sure we're kind of tucking the pelvis here, keeping a nice stable base of support through our trunk We're gonna go back to the top after this with that 4 count cherry picker and that arm reach. 2 and 1. Good. All right, so seated or standing. Let's get ready and begin. Reaching out, middle, in, up. Out, middle, in, up. Again, if my pace is too quick, slow it down. Or if it's not fast enough and you got some gusto in you, speed it up. Your workout. Five more seconds here. And time. Okay, next one is our lateral shift again, okay? So we're just gonna take it wide here. For our standing variety, your feet are planted. For our seated, we're tapping out, right? Shift. Okay, you don't have to touch the foot. We're just going down in that position, okay? And we really wanna focus on heel back, or I mean our heel on the floor, our glute is back, driving up. And time. I just realized I missed our 3 count hold. We'll do that one next. So just switched our order around. All right, so we'll do our 3 count hold next. Ready, begin. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. Five seconds. And let's squeeze one more in. And hold. Good. All right, we just did the lateral shifts previously, so now we're gonna go into that goalpost fly with internal and external rotation here. Here we go. Remember, if you're standing, tuck that pelvis. You want to feel really stable and supported through your trunk. It gives a solid base for you to pull those shoulder blades back like this. Two and 1. Okay, one more round through here. So final set of our 4 count cherry pickers with that reach. Ready and begin. Out, middle, in, up. About 5 more seconds. Get one more. Out. In and time on those. Okay. We're going into our 3 count march hold again. Ready and begin. 1, 2, 3, hold. 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 1, 2, 3, and hold. Okay, all done with those. Final set of our lateral shifts. Remember, our seated one looks like tap it out, reach, together, tap and reach, together. Here we go. We're seated, or if we're standing, I'm sorry. We're really driving through that heel on this bent leg. This one right here, I'm driving through it to come back up to this position. Then I'm sinking back through my hip as I come down. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, final set of our goalpost fly. And then we are moving on Here we go. We're gonna tuck if you're standing here. Okay, ready? Here we go. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. All right. So we are going to move on. That was our extended warm-up. We're going to go into our first block, 45, 15. Okay, that's an A, B, A, B, A, B, C, D, 4 exercises. Our first one is going to be just a hinge. We often do our hinge and row, but here what we're going to do is just the hinge part. So if you're standing, my feet are right under my hips, my toes are forward, okay? I'm rolling my shoulders back and down, okay? And I'm keeping the dumbbells close to my shins as my hips come back, and I keep my belly button pulled back. And then I'm going to come about right under my knees, mid-shin. And then I'm going to think of using my hamstrings and my glutes in the back of my body is lifting my upper body back up to standing, right? I got to squeeze real hard to think of pushing my hips forward, okay? That's our first move. If you're seated here, we are going to do a single weight here, okay, right here, okay? And we're gonna keep all the length of our spine. We're gonna do a gentle lean forward, keeping all that length. It doesn't have to be a huge range of motion. Exhale, come back up to a upright position here. All right, keeping that belly button really pulled back and all that length, okay? After that, we're going to do a goblet squat, okay? So we can hold one weight, feet are shoulder width apart. We're gonna sink it back and down and drive up, okay? If we're seated, alternating leg extensions, okay? Seated variation right here. And then our next two are a upright row to a lateral raise, okay? We're gonna work shoulders. So we're gonna slide the dumbbells up our body here, okay? And then we're gonna come out to the side. Think of our elbows guiding the weights up, okay? So that move, and then our next one after that is half bicep curl, no money drill, okay? So they are our 4 moves. The last 2 are going to look the same seated as they do standing here. So let's get started here. 2 rounds of our hinge and our goblet squat to start. So weights in either hand. We're gonna go for 45 seconds. And first things first, remember, if you're seated, you're just gonna have the one dumbbell up at your chest. It's going to be a smaller range of motion. Focus on keeping that belly button pulled back to the spine and length through that spine. All right, guys, let's get ready. Standing, feet under hips, toes forward, roll those shoulders back and down, okay? We're gonna keep the dumbbells close to our legs as we slide them down and our hips move back. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Shoulders back and down, belly button to spine. Gonna lower right below my knees, mid-shin, use my hamstrings and glutes, squeezing them to think of pushing my hips forward, which in turn makes my upper body come back up, right? I wanna feel muscles working in the back of my legs and my glutes. And I also wanna feel me controlling my core, trying to keep a flat back, like you could balance a glass of water on your back on the way down here. And time, okay. So now we're gonna go into our goblet squat. We can take one weight, we can hold it here to our chest. Our stance is gonna come out a little wider. We're gonna put a slight flare in our toes. We're gonna sink our hips back and down. If you're seated, alternating leg extension. Here we go. Sink it back and down, drive up. So now we're shifting the focus to the front of our thighs, still our glutes, okay? The first one's the back of our thighs. This one's the front. Both of them get the glutes. Keep that core engaged. Focus on feeling the muscles in the thighs and the glutes here. Few more seconds here. 2 and 1. Okay, we're gonna go back to our hinge, okay? So back to that first exercise. Going back to the back of the legs, still the glutes. Let's get ready. Roll those shoulders back and down. Here we go, core engaged. Keep the dumbbells close to the legs here. As my hips push back, my shoulders are falling. Like I wanna think of my hips and shoulders as fixed, right? That's it. Use the hamstrings and glutes, pushing those hips forward, which brings our upper body back up to standing. Strong core engagement. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, moving back onto the goblet squat. Then we're going to do 2 rounds of our upper body. Okay, give our lower body a little break here. All right, heels are about shoulder width, slight little flare out. Here we go. If you're seated, you're doing that alternating leg extension. Remember your focus, the front of your thighs, the quadriceps, the glutes, and that core, that strong core engagement. Five more seconds. 2 and 1. Whew, okay, little break from the lower body here. Lighter weights here if you have them. You can also use water bottles here. We're going to still slide up the body with this one here, top of the shoulders, and then come out to the side. Here we go. Your elbow should land higher than the dumbbells here. If this lateral movement hurts, this looks the same seated too. You can take the lateral part out, maybe just keep the upright row. You're standing with me, tucking that pelvis, core engaged. We're working the tops of the shoulders here. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. We're going into half bicep curl, no money drill, okay? You can do this with water bottles, light weights here. Here we go. All right, same thing. If you're standing with me, tucking that pelvis, core engaged, we're bringing those elbows into a 90-degree position. Elbows stay nice and close to the rib cage, like I'm trying to keep a piece of paper tucked between my elbow and my ribs. If they pop off your ribs, your elbows, you've gone just a little too far in that rotation right here, okay? Three, 2, and 1. Nice work. Woo, gotta put those down in between those 15 seconds. We're going back to our upright row, lateral raise. Remember, if the lateral raise is not comfortable, maybe take that one out, okay? Ready? And begin. Sliding up, elbows are higher than the dumbbells at the end of this upward slide here. Controlling it on the way down. Thinking about the tops of my shoulders, that's the muscle group we're targeting. 10 more seconds here. Oops, I just realized forgot my lateral raise. Maybe it was bothering me. And time. Okay, next we got our second set of our half bicep curl to no money, and then we're going to put all 4 exercises together. Okay, here we go. Half curl, out, in, down. Remember those, it's important that those elbows stay right next to the rib cage. Woo. Remember, these were the toughest one for me last week. They might take the cake this week too. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. All right. All the way back to the top now. So we are starting with our hinge, okay? So remember, seated, dumbbell up here, keep that length. It's a smaller range of movement. Okay, you're gonna exhale, bring yourself back up to that upright position. Standing with me, shoulders back and down, core engaged, hips push back, dumbbells stay relatively close to the body. Hamstrings and glutes, push your hips back forward, which in turn brings your upper body back up. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, final set of our goblet squats here, or alternating leg extensions if you're seated. Feet are a little wider for this one. Let's get ready and begin. So get back and down. Drive through the heels back up to standing. So for this one, pushing the floor away is what lifts us back up. Ten more seconds. 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, upper body, upright row to lateral raise. Take the lateral raise out if you need to. All right, if you're standing, keep those glutes engaged. Here we go. Sliding the weights up, elbows land higher than the dumbbells. If you're doing your lateral raise, think of your elbows as being what's initiating that lift, okay, not the dumbbells. See how I have a little bit of a bend through my elbows here. Ten more seconds here. 5, 2, and 1. Okay, half bicep curl to money drill, and then we are moving on to our next block. All right, so keep that pelvis tucked, belly button to spine, elbows close to rib cage, halfway up, out, in, back down. Ooh, 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, go ahead and get a drink. We have a 9-minute block coming up next. Just 2 exercises. We're going to go back and forth, but one is our single arm row. So we'll have to hit both sides before we move on to the second side, or the second exercise rather. So we're going to use the back of our chair or a table or some surface. We're going to get into a split stance here. I do want to think about my hips shooting and facing the floor. I don't want my hip facing like the wall, right? I want to think of my hips down, okay? Keeping that belly button pulled back, all right? We're going to pull back and up towards our pocket and back down. So back and up, back down. We want to be thinking about this area right here, okay? Both sides, we're going to do that for 45 seconds. And then our last one, slip rope squat. Okay, so we're going under that imaginary rope, okay? Standing back up. If you're seated, okay, you can still do your single arm row from a seated position. We're just going to maintain that length through our spine and pull back from our pocket from the seated position. And your slip rope squat is a wide stance, and it's an under and over with a neutral spine. Okay? All right, guys. Let's go ahead into single arm rows, helping to close the gap between muscle imbalances we may have in our body. Okay? These muscles are the biggest muscles we have in our upper body here. That's what we're about to work. All right, so let's get into that split stance position here, or that seated position. Okay, hips are facing the floor. 45 seconds here in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so think of that large muscle in our back and tell it to contract as you're pulling that dumbbell up towards your pocket. Past halfway on this side. Ten more seconds. 2, and 1. Okay. Shake it out. We're going to set up for the other side here. And here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. So my hips are facing towards the floor, right? Thinking of your lat. Ten more seconds on this side. 2, and 1. Okay. Now we're going to go into those slip rope squats. Remember, if you're seated, wide stance, your feet are fixed, you're keeping that neutral spine, and you're moving under and over that imaginary rope. Here we go. Under and over. You choose your intensity here. If you want to make this something a little more cardio based, you can quicken up the pace. If that makes you dizzy, take it slower. Tailor it to what you need. Past halfway. All right, we want to feel that shift from all of our weight on one leg, then all of it on the other leg. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Back to the top. Going back to our first arm for that row. hips are forward if you're standing with me here. All right, belly button to spine. Here we go. Pull that weight back towards the pocket. Think of that big muscle in your back is initiating it here. Yes, halfway. Three, two, and one. Okay. Your feet now, get the other side. And in 3, 2, and 1. Ten more seconds here. 2, and 1. All right, back to our body weight. Move here, slip rope squat. In 3, 2, and 1. Going under and over that imaginary rope. Remember, you choose your tempo. Find your rhythm. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. One more round, and we're gonna move on. We got one more block after this, okay? Back to our single arm row on that first side again. In 3, 2, and 1. Keep that belly button pulled back to the spine, and make sure you're talking to your lat, big muscle behind the rib cage there. Ten more seconds on this side. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. One more set on the other side. Let's get ready and begin. Ten more seconds here. 2, and 1. Okay. One more set of our slip rope squats here. Let's get ready and begin. Under and over. 10 more seconds here, and then we're gonna take a look at our final block. 3, 2, and time. All right, guys. Take a rest here, get a drink. We've got one more block, back to 4 exercises here. And we're gonna do another ABCD, and it's core, it's cardio and core, okay? So first one we're gonna do, cardio, ham curl and kickbacks, ham curl kickbacks, and those robo arms here, okay? So seated, you're just gonna sit edge of your chair so that you can toe tap it back and you can still perform through the same joints here, okay? Second cardio move, we're going to do a side step goalpost fly. Okay, so just getting all these joints moving, okay? Seated, boom, 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 okay? And then our 2 core exercises, we did this one last week. Well, these 2 will be seated for everyone, okay? So we're gonna do that. Sit closer to the edge of the chair here. I'm gonna put my arms crossed, opposite palm to shoulder, right? We're gonna lean it back. I'm gonna twist 2, 3, 4, come back to center. Exhale, bring it up. Back, twist, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, bring it up. Okay, that's our first one. And then our second one is chair bicycle crunches. Okay? All right, so if it's really hard to bring your knees up, you can work on either a rotation or just a knee up. Okay? Either one will work for you there, okay? All right, so 2 cardio moves first. This is still 45-15. We're gonna do, what do you call it? 2 rounds before we move on to the core exercises and hit those for 2 rounds and put it all together. Ham curls with kickbacks. Let's get ready and begin here, okay? You can, you know, bring the intensity with this, or you can pace yourself with it, okay? It's up to you. You can even do a reverse palm just to make it a little different here, right? Palms up towards the ceiling as we pull back. Ten more seconds here. And we're going to go into those side steps with that goalpost fly. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Recover. Side step fly is next. Okay, goalpost fly. Okay, if you're seated, they're lateral taps. Ready and begin. Again, you find your rhythm. You don't have to go at my beat, okay? We are trying to elevate our heart rate a little bit here while working through our joints. Having a bunch of joints moving at the same time means more muscles are working, means our heart is working harder. Ten more seconds here. 45 seconds is too long. Take your rest, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Okay, not done with the cardio yet. We're gonna go through those ham curls and that pull back again. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Let's do that palms up again, just to be a little different today with it. Just past halfway. 10. 3, 2, and 1. Recover. Not done with the cardio yet. We still got those side steps with that goalpost, and then we'll go into our 2 core before we put everything together one more time. All right, here we go with those side steps. Lateral taps if you're seated. Ready? And begin. Wait, it's this. That's what it is. You find this is getting harder with accumulated fatigue and you want to bring your arms a little lower like this, that might be an option. You know, if you have tricky shoulders or rounded shoulders, sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable. Right? 3, 2, and 1. Woo, okay. So now we're going to go into our seated core exercises, starting with that lean back. So we do want to be closer to the edge of the chair so that when we lean back, we feel our core activated because we're like just kind of hanging here. Then we'll rotate for 4 and then bring it forward. Here we go. Lean back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to center. Strong exhale up. Bring it right back down. As far as you can go down without it like, you know, being too aggressive. 2, 3, 4. But you just want to feel that your core is working to kind of hold you in that lean back as you rotate. 2, 3, 4. 10 more seconds. Last 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right, now we're going to do those bicycle crunches next. Okay, your elbow and knee don't have to touch, but you're bringing them, you know, towards one another. Remember, you could always just hold on. You could just do knee raises just like this if that hurts, or just the twist. Here we go. Halfway, a little fast. Don't be afraid to modify if it gets a little too intense. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my. Okay, we're not done with the core though. We got to go back to that first one. I give you that lean back with that Russian twist for 4, and then we're going to reach it all the way forward. All right, edge of the chair here. Ready, and begin. Let's lean it back, twist, 2, 3, 4, extend and reach it forward, bring it right back, cross, twist, 2, 3, 4, extend the arms, reach it up, bring it back. You don't have to follow my pace, but that's the flow of it, okay? Ten more seconds on this one. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Back to those bicycle crunches. Remember, if this one gets pretty intense for you, just take it to the knees. You can hold on to your chair or just take it to some twists, okay? Let's get ready and begin. Halfway. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Oh man, okay, we're gonna put it together one time through. So one more round of everything, starting with that cardio. So let's shake out that core work with those ham curls and those palm up pullbacks. Ready? And begin. Final set of everything, guys. Halfway. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, all done with those. Not done with cardio. We still got one more set of those side steps with those goalpost flies here. Remember, if you really are starting to feel some fatigue and you want to do like something a little lower here, go ahead and do this, okay? That's totally fine. Last cardio move. Back to those 2 core moves next. And then we'll just do a brief cool down. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so here we go, back to our core exercises. We're gonna start with that lean back, Russian twist for 4 with the crossed arms. We extend those arms long and we reach it forward and bring it back. Ready? Here we go. Now lean it back, twist, 2, 3, 4, back to center, extend arms long, reach it, pull it back. Center, reach, pull it back. Ten more seconds on this one. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All done with these. Now we're into those bicycle crunches to end with. Remember, this one's a tough one to end on. So if you want to do any kind of modification of it, pick those knees, maybe even half the time you do the knee raises and half the time you do the twist, okay? It's always a way, guys. Halfway. Woo, feeling this. 15. 3, 2, and time. All right, guys, go ahead and recover here for a second. We're gonna cool down next, and We're gonna start with either a seated cat-cow or a standing, okay? So you're seated, we're just arching, rounding the back, tucking the chin, and then reversing it up, okay? Standing, we are rounding, tucking the chin and pelvis, and then untucking, okay? We're gonna do this for 30 seconds, all right. Let's get ready here and begin. No forcing anything, just feeling the flexion and extension of your spine as you round and tuck back in your shoulders as well as your glutes too. 2 and 1. Okay, next one we're gonna do is we're just gonna sit it down and we're gonna do the same thing. We put our palms up on our shoulders here and we're just twisting gently through our spine, okay? Doesn't have to be fast, but I just want you to think of like the stretching part of it, okay? Like just feeling some lengthening and stretching. And slow it down. I think it's going a little too fast for you guys. And time. Next one, let's go into hip circles, okay? You can hold on to your chair here. We're going to switch directions halfway through here. And switch directions. All right, from here, we're going to hold a forward fold here. Okay, so we're just going on the back of our chair here. Pretend my little table here is a chair. I'm a little bit lower than I should be. I should have just grabbed my chair here, but looking for like that 90-degree bend through the hip, arms extended, back of the chair, feeling the stretch all over the back side of our body here. You can stay still, or if you want to add a little gentle sway side to side through the hips, you can do that as well. 2 and 1. Last one. Ankle circles, 15 seconds each direction on each foot, okay? And let's switch directions. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, same thing, other side. Here we go. I like to kind of hold on to the back of my thigh, and by holding on to it, it kind of like allows me to lean back, but me holding my thigh kind of supports my lean back. Switch directions. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, here we go. Big inhale up. Exhale. Palms to center one more time. And exhale. Palms to center. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's workout.